Welcome back to Zoomin with Humans and Tom Busby from Busby Marou. How are you, brother?
Good, mate. Very good.
What's been happening?
Mate, I have been really taking the time to hook in and spend all the time I can with my young kids and my wife. And my brother actually bought a house 3 doors down with his young family. So it's almost like we've been on schoolies in a way. We'll walk out the door and we go from one to the next. Really been enjoying it after the initial what has happened, and we've lost all the work for the rest of the year. But to be honest, we needed a break, I suppose, anyway, for our family's sake. And I've only realised that now, the deeper I've gotten into hanging out at home. And mate, I've just been all out in the water and in the beach, and kind of, we're fortunate enough we live kind of on the back of the canals at Gold Coast. So we've got a little boat that can jump on and get out of the house and run the girls around the beach to tire them out, I suppose. So that's been great. But mate, I'm making the most of it.
Mate, your latest release, The Great Divide, easily some of your best work, and I mean that's probably where you always want to be. You always sort of want to be evolving and writing better songs and playing better. And you and Jeremy just have like an unbelievable understanding and chemistry. Watching you guys play live for many, many years now, but seeing where you're at now, it's awesome to see.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, we're really proud of The Great Divide, and those songs just to feel a bit more mature. And you're right, every album you just want to get better, and you want to believe in yourself, and you believe in yourself, and your fans will as well. And if you pick up a few along the way, that's even better. That's what we just, we're not trying to take over the world, as you can try to, sometimes you can do that as a young artist. After the first album, you want it to be the next biggest thing in the world, and you want to be selling out stadiums, and it's the wrong attitude. You've got to grow as career artists. You're looking at someone like Paul Kelly or John Williamson or Casey Chambers, and just people who are going to be around forever. That's kind of what we want.
You mentioned some pretty amazing names there, and some names that you guys have been able to collaborate with, tour with, perform alongside. Pete Murray's another one that springs to mind. What have those collaborations given you guys? Is it sort of a pat on the back for the good work, or do you learn a lot from other artists when you're alongside them?
Yeah, a bit of both. Firstly, when they want to work with you, or if they want you as a support act or record songs, then it makes you feel like, oh, hang on, we're actually, wow, we're playing with the big boys. We're doing something right. So that's the initial reaction. But one thing you learn from the greats is where you actually you can get brought down to earth pretty quick, because confidence is a very important thing to have in the music industry. But you also need to work at it. You need to be, so you can't become complacent. It's like any job, I suppose. You just got to work hard if you want to be better, that is. And when you see someone like Paul Kelly and Troy Casadale is a great example, Casey Chambers, even someone like Pete Murray, how hard they work on and off, the stage. Not so much, actually everything to do with songwriting. They don't stop writing. They don't stop getting better themselves. And then even off the stage, looking after yourself a little bit. It's pretty easy to slip into some, serious drinking problems on the road. But when you're with those artists, you kind of work out, well, they've obviously been through those journeys, and, they've got to get up the next day, and it's all about the fans, and you've got to be putting the best performance on. So you really learn a lot, all the tricks of the business, and also, it inspires you to work harder.
Not only are you an amazing singer, guitarist, but you're a fantastic songwriter. Have you always been good at writing songs? It's something you had to work towards. And have you ever written a shit song, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. I write plenty of them still, mate. I always found myself, I'm more of a songwriter than probably any of the others. Definitely more than a guitarist. Initially I would write the songs. I use the guitar or a bit of a piano, and then I'd take them to Jeremy, and I didn't want to play on the albums. I never wanted to play, and I actually didn't even want to play live. I just wanted the freedom to sing. But I was kind of forced to do that early, and I'm glad I did because, you know, we go in to record and we get Jeremy to lay down all the tracks, and it just sounds too good. He's too clean and too good. And at the time, you're just thinking this is magic, but then you A/B it to the demos where I'm kind of strumming along with him, and he's playing a different way because he's trying to kind of clean up my mistakes along the way, and it forms a bit of a strange, you know, musical bond with the two guitars kind of clashing and joining, and it's the same way our voices kind of match. So it's created a sound. So I mean, that's how I make my bad guitaring sound good, you know? But it's true, you know, we've A/B'd it many times. But yeah, I love songwriting down. I love coming up with melodies and then putting the time in later, you know, to find the story. And there's always stories, you know, the longer you live, there's something that's happening.
Is that how it often works for you? You'll noodle around on the guitar and see some harmonies, and if that's something that you think's got legs, you'll write some words around that.
Definitely, you know, straight away, you know, there's some kind of progression or hook or both, and you might not have time to get to it. And I've learned pretty quickly to just get that down on your phone, to come back to it later, and then over the time, you know, when you go to write a song, you put in the effort. Sometimes you go in there and go, I'm writing a song today, and it's going to take I'm going to get it done in the day. You know, you want to be focused on getting it done, and you can obviously work on it afterwards to make the lyrics and the story better. But even though you can write that in the day, those ideas have come from maybe a year or 2 years of this melody and improving the melody and keep going back to it and keep improving the hook. And you can hear there's like 20, 30, 40, 50, you know, voice memos of the same song, and the name changes as it goes. And then when you go to write it, you've got the idea and you're ready to go. And that's how I do all my co-writes as well. I love bringing a little idea of mine in, a melody, and I find a lot of people want to write with me, you know, obviously because I have a certain kind of hook, and they bring whatever else they bring, and that's the beauty of co-writing and collaboration. So, you know, if it's Adam Eckersley or Brooke McClymont, we did a great songwriting. I just took an idea to them, and they had a very basic idea, and they just went with it, and it was, you know, they turned it into a great song, and that's what that's all about, and that you feel really good at the end of that day.
Very fascinating, mate. It's you know, often you talk to singer-songwriters, and everyone's got a different process of, you know, 1 minute there's nothing, and then the next minute there's something. Does that still blow your mind that you're just creating things out of nothing?
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable, to be honest, and it's something that all young songwriters should take on board. Is early days, I was like, sure, I'm good. Like, I come up with these ideas, but that was just for me in my bedroom. But then Busby Marou kind of formed, and then people started liking it. We're getting reviews and getting added on radio. And then all of a sudden, you got to think about, wow, I've actually got to write this. It's got to be good, you know. Where I was just writing for myself, I really was. But there was something that people liked about it, and so you got to believe in that. You got to believe that what you did is, you know, you're good enough, and you actually, you know, you improve. And I remember my first co-write, a couple of great writers, and I'm really good mates with them now and write with them all the time. And they were just so good and so fast. And I would come again, I'd do my same trick. I'd bring my melody and my idea and shape it into it, and they would just take it somewhere that at the end of it, it was like unbelievable in a way I didn't think I had anything to do with that song. But I've now learned that, you know, that I do bring the goods, and, you know, everyone that pitches in with songwriting, there's some different angle that they bring that makes the song either better or different, or for, you know, for a good reason. That's why, I love co-writing. Mate,
us footy fans, we're struggling, you know, especially if you're a music fan and a footy fan. There's not much keeping us interested, but mate, you know, I bet you can't wait for the footy to come back as well. Big Broncos fans, and you guys get to the games quite a lot.
Mate, I'm a big Bronco fan. I love your jersey there too, mate. That's an old one. Is that a special edition or something, is it?
That's actually good story behind this jersey. Jed, Gavin Allen is our coach at West Panthers, and this is one of his.
Wow, he played with my brother. My brother played for Bronx probably around the same time. Both of them actually, and they were good mates with Gavin Allen. He was a gun foot. He was hard. I've got Michael Hancock's jersey and Alan Langer.
Yeah. Oh,
In fact, I'm in my bar at the moment. Well, there's a story behind that one. So I was the biggest Alan Langer fan. All the Busbys are halfbacks and number 7s. Right? That's the way, it's the way we're shaped.
Yes.
And I was a huge Alan Langer fan, and they came to Rockhampton, Brown Park, for a bit of an exhibition game against, I think it was the local team. And I received a jersey in the mail. It was actually a jumper, a Broncos jumper, and it had Langer, number 7, on the back. And it was a letter saying, "G'day, Tommy. Love your work, mate. Keep playing footy. You're a legend." And from Alfie Langer.
Wow.
And so I was biggest thing ever. And anyway, I went and met him on the field. And there's a photo that made the back page of the Morning Bulletin, the full spread. It's the back of me looking up to him, shaking his hand, and on my jersey it said Langer, number 7, and the titles reads Tom meets Hero Elf. And anyway, fast forward to my 21st, and I've been telling everyone that Elfie sent me a jersey, and I know him now as well, so it even makes it even better. Not very well, but through my brother-in-law. And turns out my dad's best mate actually set that up. He wrote the letter pretending to be Alfie Langer, sent it to me because he knew I loved him that much. And as a young kid, it was such an awesome thing.
Yeah.
But what an amazing thing to do for a young kid, So I'm sure Alfie, I want to get that photo. I've got a little bar here, and I've got not many photos up, and I don't want to clutter it with photos. I've got a few of me and Jeremy and some records and things, achievements and Deadly Awards. But all I really want is 2 photos. One is with me and Alfie Langer, and the other one is another one of Jeremy and I on stage with Peter Garrett screaming in his face. So I'm going to get those photos and remember the good times.
How good was Alf? When you think about it, and growing up, you're probably a little bit mesmerised by that team itself. But Alfie Langer, 92, 93, and further on from that, I don't think there's been another halfback that's sort of even come close to what he offered, the chip and chase and the show and go. And he
was a little pest. Yeah, he was just a pest for any side, wasn't he? And he had the most unorthodox style of footy. There's never been a footballer to play that strange style of footy. And the reason he was so good is because he was so consistent, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
If his footy style was like that and he had off games or threw a weird pass over the sideline here and there, he wouldn't be one of the greats. But because he was so consistent, it was just it was really hard to defend against. I loved his toughness.
Still very pleasing to see him running out in the blue shirt for Broncos games and waving to the crowd and carrying on a bit.
Apparently, he's the funniest guy ever. I mean, I've seen very funny sides of him, but my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law's the CEO of the Broncos, and so my sister and brother-in-law are good friends with him. They say he'll invite you over for dinner, and you'll go to answer the door, and here he is in a dress. G'day, guys, come in. He's just like full of entertainment, full of happiness, and they just say that you basically don't stop laughing the whole time you're at his house.
How is Whitey? Whispers he's going for the top job at the NRL. Can you divulge anything?
Mate, I have been trying to work that out myself. He doesn't holds his cards close, Paul, always. No, I don't think he will. I mean, I know he's mates with Belandis. I'm pretty sure he is, but I think they're both pretty strong. I think as a chair, having a strong chair would be hard having a strong CEO as well. I don't know. But again, I have no idea. I reckon and I hope that, he's been so successful at the Brisbane Broncos, what he's brought to the club off the field. It's been probably the most successful CEO, but he hasn't seen a grand final yet. I think he's been to 2 and he's made, but I reckon, because of this year being so strange, maybe he might stay again. I hope he does. I want him to see a full season out and Broncos take the title.
Yeah, he's done a marvellous job. Shout out to Paul White, legend. Tommy, I've got to ask you, brother, what have we got in the background there? What's doing?
Mate, that's an overpriced palm tree leaf.
Okay.
I tell you, my wife I'll give you a bit of a zoom around here, right?
Let's have a look around.
All right, so there's like my couches.
Very nice.
Have a look at this.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So stocked up bar. I love hosting, mate. And in this room, it's funny. Like, you've got the TV and the big surround sound. Got a few of the Busby Marou record up there.
Oh wow!
A few of those on the corner. Deadly. I'm always proud of that one. Looks the best too. But the rule is teaching the kids, my nieces and nephews and my children. It's like, this is my room, but you're all welcome. You're all welcome. They watch TV and they watch movies in here, and it's very much a family room. But when we're in here with all my family, there's no one's changing the music. It is country music, and we listen to so much old stuff.
Boy.
Put my brothers on to John Prine, and we just put Willie Nelson and Glenn Campbell on repeat. And it's so funny because, I remember being young and cool and all that too, and Triple J, and, I was right into, and I still am, I'm into all the new bands, indie and emerging and rock and roll. And, I'm right, I've got my finger on my pulse. As a songwriter, you need to, but in this room, it's just nothing but old school country. And at the start, they hate it and they try to fight it, but mate, they love it. Deep down, it's there. And so we're all singing, and if they want to sing and play guitar, we can all sing. But if they want to sing, there's no like and I'll get up and I won't get up. I just take the guitar off them, no hesitation. You want to sing, you get up, and it just teaches people to get up. If you're going to put your hand up to do it, you're doing it. It's so fun. It's a real creative room.
Yes, I'm looking forward to my invite, brother. We can do some damage in that bar, I'm thinking.
Good, mate. You're welcome anytime.
Mate, I've got to talk to you about a very special song that you wrote, and we're going to post the link in this video for everyone to check out. It's on the latest record, The Great Divide. Very personal song for you, and a very powerful and moving tune, especially for those who have gone through the same thing or are going through the same thing. And me myself, I have a family member that's going through the same thing myself. So when I first heard it and you told me the story, man, I had all the feels.
Yeah, mate. Definitely the most emotional song for us. It's hard to write a song about sadness, but even though it's about, for me and for those of you who don't know, it's my old man struggling with dementia, and he was larger than life. My dad, and he still is. He no shame. He made every kid feel special. Someone told me that the other day. I think he was a COO of Woolworths, and he said he used to play footy, and Dad would run down the sideline, and he would make every kid feel special, whether they were good or bad at footy or whatever it was. It was a real gift he had, and he was very generous. But the most amazing thing about him is he would just stand up and sing wherever he was, at a fancy restaurant, at the pub, at church, and he would just sing, whether it's Danny Boy or Frank Sinatra, to the top of his voice. He just wants to create that entertainment. So he's losing all his friends around him. He's lost all his brothers, and it's breaking his heart. And at the same time, he's struggling with dementia, and see all that. This man, the strongest man, kind of struggle, and he doesn't necessarily know he is. Mum's probably dealing with it the most. And, lots of people see it, but it's kind of, it's sad, and it's a bit of a reminder that life's pretty short and it could happen to me. So when I'm singing about gone, it's, he's here, but he's gone. And also the beauty about that song, the Jeremy and I, is Jeremy usually lets me take over the lyrics, but as we were bringing this song up, as we were digging into it, he must have been thinking about his old man. He lost his dad when he was young. Jeremy was 19. His dad had a heart attack on a touch footy field. They were playing a family game of footy. So he dropped dead and died in front of him and in front of his family. And he was young. See, he lost him young. So he just, and I never heard him speak much about it. But, it was a real moment for us. We're like, well, this is actually real. Let's actually, it was like a healing episode. So every time we hear it, even though it's sad, it was really just thinking about those awesome things, about our dads. And a lot of people, you can use the song for whatever reason, but it's, you've got to smile through it, even though it is pretty sad.
It's a beautiful song, powerful, as I said, emotional. I'm not going to lie to you. When I watched the clip for the live clip that you did with the orchestra, I was crying, as I said, because we're going through the same thing. So it's an amazing tune, mate. And as I said to you before, must be therapeutic, but also a little bit hard to put that song down.
Yeah, it is. They played it to him the other day, actually. I never really spoke to him about it. Mum and all that know, my family know. And yeah, they played it. My niece showed him, and he didn't necessarily know it was about him, but he was crying. He loved hearing me sing and say. A lot of the songs we sing are a bit upbeat, and the hooks in this one, yeah, it was interesting to see him listen to it, but almost in a way he was connecting.
Yeah, just on a side note, I was very pleased to meet your old man at the gig in the city at the Queen Street Mall. There he was, front and centre, clap along, cheering. It was amazing.
Is that you that took the photo? Someone took a photo. I put it up.
Yeah.
It might have been my sister. It was just Jeremy and I, and his head right in the middle. Oh, God. So good.
Too good. Mate, yeah, so look, magical stuff, and you're going to have those memories forever, as will anybody going through this terrible disease, you know. Tom, always a pleasure, my brother, to catch up and have a yarn. Pass on my regards to Jeremy as well. I can't wait to join you boys in that bar for some shenanigans.
Mate, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah, no, thanks for having me. And this is great little setup. I love your jersey. You've inspired me. I'm going to rip out the old Alfie Langan jersey if I can find it.
Do it. Tom Busby, thank you, sir.
Thank you.